We've got a crucial AAC doubleheader on deck here at Bowen Field as the Bluefield College Rams square off with the Bryan College Lions. Hello, everybody. Bailey Engel here. Glad to have you with us across the Rams Digital Sports Network as Bluefield comes off of a few wins in a row against a red-hot Bryan College team. Lions coming into this one from Dayton, Tennessee at 30-17 and 14-7 in the AAC. But Bluefield looking for wins before they can try to get into that AAC tournament, and a couple of big conference series up ahead for Bluefield College. A doubleheader today against Bryan College, as well as the series finale tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And then this weekend, they have to face off against the number 2 team in the country, the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. So for the Rams on the mound today against Bryan College, one of the best teams in this Appalachian Athletic Conference, it'll be Spencer Ambrose on the mound for Bluefield. As we take a look at who's in the field, Mike White, one of the longest tenured coaches. He's been here since 2006, trying to get win number 400, just 5 away, and doesn't stray from that usual lineup. Ozzie Millette is over at third. At shortstop today, getting the start, Marcus Espinal. Carlos Torres back in the starting lineup for the Rams, playing at second base with Edgardo Bernard at first. Out left field, it's Pepe Napoleon, and center Jordan Huntley, the leadoff man, and in right field, Andreas Holzer. Joseph Cardona is the catcher today, and Santana will get the start as the DH. Leading off for Bryan College. Batting first, the shortstop, number 6, Gabe Howell, followed by Wade Weinberger batting second, and we're also going to see Lake Burris, the first baseman. Ready to go? Here's Ambrose, the lefty. Deals first pitch. It's a fastball swung on and popped up out to center field. Now veering into right. Holzer makes the catch in right center, and we are underway with one out here at Bowen Field. So the start time of this one, 10:59. Getting started a minute early today. Very punctual for Bryan College, wearing the red jerseys. And it brings up Weinberger. Bailey Engel on the call for you. Glad to have you here. A beautiful day for baseball, starting to warm up. Was a bit cold in Southwest Virginia and West Virginia yesterday on Easter, then warmed up when the sun came out, and there's not a cloud in the sky today. First pitch, and it's in the dirt, and it's ball one with one out, nobody on. So Wade Weinberger, the junior from the Bahamas, stands in on the left side. Ambrose on the mound for Bluefield in the blue jerseys with the blue caps, blue numbers with a white trim on the backs. Now the Rams coming off of a 27-14 win against Bluefield State in the middle of the week. The 1-0 to Weinberger skips in the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes. And that was a game with 40 combined hits, and now it gets a little bit different on these conference series for Bluefield College because you got your better pitchers and you're playing against teams with guys that can really throw the ball as well. By the way, Weinberger hitting .371 as that 2-0 misses outside and low. 3 balls, no strikes. So 3-0, nobody on, and the pitch, it's a 4-pitch walk to Weinberger, tosses that bat away, and now we'll go to first base. I'm going to bring up Lake Burris, wearing number 28, and for some reason, well, that is a 2 on that lineup card. Barely etched the bottom line of the 2. Thought it was number 18. That brings up the first baseman from Chatsworth, Georgia, with a runner at first. Still no score. We're in the top of the first inning with one out. Rams hoping for the double play. First pitch to the righty is right down the middle, strike 1. Bryan, coached by Clint McCauley in his 8th season, alma mater of Texas Tech. Also coached at Siena College and Division I. Also spent some time at Northeast Mississippi Community College. There's a pickoff attempt, almost sails wide. Count stays 0-1. Oh, 1. Swinging a tapper foul, bouncing into the dugout, and it goes 0-2. After that one rolls on the third base side, we can take a look at how Ambrose has pitched this year. 4-2. This will be his 8th start of the season, 15th overall appearance, a .630 ERA across 44 1/3. So we'll likely see Alex Perkins in Game 2 of this doubleheader that will go 7 innings. Ambrose checks Weinberger at first, Burris at the plate 0-2. Another pickoff attempt. No balls, 2 strikes. Ambrose also has thrown 47 runs, given up 31 of them earned with 33 walks and 32 strikeouts. Already Weinberger with a big lead over at first base. Burris crowding the plate on the right side, 0-2. Fastball high and away, ball 1. 3:35 down the lines here at Bluefield's Bowen Field. About 400 dead center, and the trees are starting to bloom behind the outfield wall. It was finally starting to get into spring, although sometimes it doesn't feel like it. Another pickoff attempt at first is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. We're going to have both games for you here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Hope you can tune in. Saw a lot of Bryan College fans in the parking lot actually made it out to this Monday game. Runner takes off 1-2, swung on and fouled back on a bounce. Tried to go with a hit and run there on the breaking ball, and it did not work out, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Weinberger was going to get there. Cardona has played well as the catcher this year, his first year as a starter for the Rams after being the backup to Austin Browning a season ago. So it stays 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the first inning, still no score. Burris at the plate wearing no batting gloves. Ambrose checks first and throws another pickoff attempt. Got there on a 4-pitch walk. This would be crucial if the Rams are able to steal a game away from Bryan College, a team with 30 wins on the year. Rams won their last conference series against Point. 1-2 will have to wait. Another pickoff attempt. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they do have a winning record, 22-18, 10-11 in the conference, so that's another goal for them to get to 500. Last year, they won only 8 games in the AAC. The 1-2. Breaking ball cut on and hit deep left field. Napoleon at the warning track jumps up, and that ball's gone. Lake Burris with a big-time jack in the first inning, and it's already 2-0 Bryan. Boy, there was not a lot of wind helping that one. Got under it. It was a moonshot. And a deep enough pop-up, if you will, clears that left field wall. So for Burris, that is his 23rd home run of the season. That is just incredible. 23 Jackson already, 2-0 the score. Not a great start for Ambrose. Did get that first pitch, a pop out. Now to the cleanup batter. First pitch to Catalano. He fouls it off. Marcus Catalano at the plate. Another guy that can hit the ball deep. He has 11 home runs this year, and that's second on the team. Burris with 23. Hitting .294, the 0-1. Climbed the ladder and missed. Count 0-1. Right now, 30-12 on the year. Bryan, a masterful season, and up 2-0. Here's the 0-2. Fastball high and away, ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes. Already 1 out and the base is cleared after the moonshot homer. The 1-2. Popped up right field side. Towards the line, long run for Holzer. And he can't get there as he gallops into foul territory. So it stays 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And Ambrose already in an early jam. Got that first out. And, oh, Bryan, we knew they were a team that could hit well. Going to find their 31st win of the season. The 1-2. Breaks just a bit outside, ball 2. And you look at last year's team and you look at this year's team, really something is the same. Rams just have such a young pitching staff. They have the hitters. And, of course, last year they were a team that hit the home run well. This year, not as much, but they have consistent hitters in Napoleon and Jose Santana as well as Jordan Huntley. Here's a 2-2. Swung on, tapped down the third baseline, snagged by Millette, throws on to first in time, and there is the second out. So 2 gone in the top of the first inning, 2-0 the score in favor of the Lions. That'll bring Jesus Studio to the dish. Leads this team in average. He's only made 13 starts now, hitting .333. First pitch to the third baseman, sails wide, ball 1. Righty up in the count, 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Lefty with the ball in the glove, he deals. Breaking ball, cut on and fouled down the third baseline. Evens it up at 1-1. Sun beaming down from the third base side. We've already seen a home run. That's how Bryan leads. Here's the 1-1. Popped up right side and foul over the Bluefield dugout. So Ambrose has Bryan down to their final strike at the top of the first inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lefty with the ball in his hand. Ambrose comes set. Nobody on for the Lions. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. After Ambrose ends the top of the first with a strikeout, Bluefield will come to bat down 2-0 here at Bowen Field. Right-handed pitcher Josen Cuomo is on the mound for Bryan, and his team leads Bluefield 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Jordan Huntley is at the plate for Bluefield, the perennial leadoff man for the Rams. First pitch. And it's high and inside, had to limbo out of the way for ball one. After almost hits Huntley, 1 ball, no strikes. Cuomo with a 6-3 record on the year, 5.57 ERA. He has thrown 51 2/3 with 48 hits, 38 runs, 32 of them earned with 25 walks and 56 strikeouts. As he kicks and deals 1-0, breaks high and away, 2 balls, no strikes. Rams searching for another series win. It was impressive, however, they were able to win the final 2 games against Point as Huntley scorches that one down the third base line. That is a base hit. Rounding first on his way to second, and he will slide in for a leadoff double here in the bottom of the first inning. That's exactly what your leadoff man is supposed to do, bouncing the ball right down the line. The studio could not get it, and now Bluefield has a man in scoring position, which brings the tying run to the plate in Jose Santana. Here comes Santana, former AAC Player of the Week. Where Bluefield has had one heck of a season in his first year in a Bluefield Rams uniform. That first pitch hits the outside corner, strike one. Well, Santana nearly hitting 400 at 398, 1 home run, but 25 RBIs. Does have 41 hits for Bluefield, 0-1. Breaks outside, this time it hits the corner again, no balls, 2 strikes. So Cuomo, after dealing a couple of balls to Huntley, has fired it up against Santana. And that black hat checks the runner at second in Huntley. And then the red cleats takes a long stare right back to first and deals. So we're going to foul tip going right back behind the catcher. So Howell as well as Tyler Scott covering at second base. Over at third, as we mentioned, is Studio. At first, it's Burris who hit that home run to make it 2-0. Cuomo checks Huntley 0-2. Swung on and blasted foul right side on top of the batting facility. Out in left field, it's Weinberger. In center, making the start for Bryan, Destine Udamban. And in right field, Marcus Catalano. No balls, 2 strikes. Huntley at second base. Santana at the plate, the right-handed batter. Well, Scott went to cover second. Now Cuomo steps off. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Rams with a double to start off the bottom of the first inning. Cuomo definitely was swing and miss stuff as he deals 0-2, fouled back over the awning. Seen some Bryan fans in the area making the trip from Dayton, Tennessee. You can expect a team with 30-12 record that they're going to have fans in the ballpark. Kind of tough for Bluefield students to get here in the middle of the day. Final starting up on Saturday. Here's the 0-2 again. It's in the dirt. Kept in front, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Cuomo with the ball in the brown glove. Huntley bouncing off the bag at second. He deals. Swing and a miss. Got him with something high there for his first strikeout of the ball game and out number 1. I'll bring up Ozzie Millette, the third baseman from Miami. Millette likes to swing early in the count. Right now at 320, 2 homers, and he's batted in 32 runs. Rams down 2-0, tying run at the plate. Cuomo checks on Huntley and fires. First pitch breaks outside, and it's called a strike. Wow. Parker Cosby, the catcher, doing a good job of framing that one up on the breaking pitch. Cuomo takes a look, 0-1. Swinging a ground ball over on the left side, deep in the gap. Howellfield throws to third, and now he kept the ball. And Bluefield has runners on the corners after the hit from Millette. Looked like he was going to throw it over to third to try to get Huntley out, and Huntley got there in time. So now the tying run is at first base with one out, and a chance for Pepe Napoleon for the Rams to try to tie it up or take the lead with a swing of the bat here. Napoleon's blasting .390, 3 homers, 30 RBIs. First pitch to the left fielder, big cut and a miss. With a changeup there, Napoleon was trying to send that over the left field wall. So no balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Up to the plate on the right side, Millette at first, and Huntley at third, 0-1. Fouls it back. Quickly down 0-2. So Cuomo has given up a couple of base hits here in the bottom of the first inning. Only hit we saw on the top of the first was that gigantic home run coming from Lake Burris. His 23rd of the year. Don't see power like that often in NAIA. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Cuomo checks on Millette at first with Huntley leading off at third base. He deals 0-2. Swung on, hit in the air, out to right field. Should be enough to score a run. Backing up, Catalano makes the catch. A pump fake throws back to first, and Millette will scamper back to the bag, but it's a sacrifice fly for Pepe Napoleon, and the Rams have cut the lead in half. It's 2-1. So you imagine that Napoleon wants to get on base and is a really speedy base runner for Bluefield, but still a swing of the bat gives him his 31st RBI this season. That'll bring up Joseph Cardona for Bluefield. Left-handed catcher also has a bit of power in his bat. Tying run at first base, 2-1 the score. Cuomo with 2 outs to work with, and he pitches a breaking ball to the lefty outside, but called a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Millette bouncing off the bag at first, and Cuomo steps off. So the inning started off with a double. Huntley able to get into home to score after the single from Millette, as well as the fly ball out to right from Napoleon. Checking first, Cuomo looks over his shoulder. 0-1 pitch. Just a bit outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So they're playing 2 today, of course, as custom in the AAC. The Rams will play 9 innings in this game. The second game of this doubleheader will only go 7. And then tomorrow at 1 o'clock, the lone 9-inning game. Here's the 1-1. Another breaking pitch hit on the corner outside. So we're already seeing that Cuomo is going with some swing and miss stuff, throwing balls with movement. Rams haven't really taken cuts early in the counts. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cuomo with a pickoff attempt, and Millette dances back to first base. Tag laid down by Burris, but it's too late. Cuomo deals. Swung on, line drive, out to right. That will drop for a base hit. Millette stopped at second base, and now Bluefield has a couple of runners on with 2 outs. So just got off of the end of the bat for Cardona, able to work it into shallow right field, and it keeps this inning going. Matthew Larson on now as the courtesy runner for the first, or at first base for Joseph Cardona, the catcher. So brings up Holzer. First pitch, fastball inside, ball 1. He's hitting .340, 4 home runs for the right fielder and 24 RBIs. It's going to be big here if the Rams are able to match that early lead. Ambrose only gave up that 1 hit, but it was a homer Tying run at second base, 1-0. Inside corner, strike one. Makes it at 1-1, 2 outs, 2 runners aboard for Bluefield. Great day for baseball and for Bryan trying to find a road win. 1-1. Swung on and blasted out to center field. Udon glides to the left and makes the catch for out number 3. Rams leave a couple of runners on, but they score a run on 3 hits. No errors, and now we're on to the second inning. 2-1, Bryan leads against Bluefield. Scott will lead it off here in the top of the second inning. Rams down 2-1 against Bryan after Lake Burris hit that home run in the top of the first. Ambrose ready to deal, and the first pitch. Swung on and hit well and deep down the left field line. If it's fair, it is gone, and it is foul. So Scott tried to send that first pitch on a ride right down the middle, and he was a little bit too early, and it's now strike one, a loud strike one at that. So for Tyler Scott hitting .310, that would have been his 4th home run if it was about 10 feet to the right. Has 28 RBIs. Ambrose looks in. Here's the 0-1. Bounced in the dirt, ball one, and actually hit the umpire right in the arm. Well, an AAC matchup, 3 umpires, as is the regulation here in conference games. Certainly helps, and if you see games here at Bowen Field in the Rookie League season, there's actually only 2 umpires. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, chopped down the third baseline, and it goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Now the pitch. Scott fishes at a pitch in the dirt. Cardona comes up, throws to second, and there is strikeout number 2 for Spencer Ambrose. Second straight inning where Ambrose is able to retire the leadoff man. Bring up David Scoggins. Another lefty in the lineup for Bryan with those white letters on the front, white number on the back and the front. White letters on the front say Lions. Lefty-lefty, maybe not as favorable for Scoggins in this matchup. Slight shift being played by Espinal. As that breaking ball goes outside, as Espinal out at shortstop, plays about parallel with the bag, nearly playing up the middle. So 1 ball, no strikes. Scoggins hitting .304. Does have 5 homers and 25 RBIs. Now, 5 homers is not bad, especially in this college season. But see a guy like Lake Burris who just hit his 23rd home run. That's pretty incredible. Rams' leading home run hitter has 9. The 1-0 goes low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. That pitch is cranked out to left field. Napoleon on the run. He won't get there as it hugs the line. Running around first is Scoggins, now going for 2, and he will hold up there. It's a 1-out double for Bryan. And with them leading 2-1, another chance to elevate this lead to 2 runs again. It'll go to the catcher, Parker Cosby. Cosby hitting under 300 at 284. 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. Now the chance to maybe bunt here, and Ozzie Millette sees that, plays up at the bag at third base. And Mike White signaling for him to come in further. First pitch, rakes in the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2-1 here at top of the second, playing a 9-inning game first, and then in the second game, playing 7 innings. Mike White at 395 wins total. He's been here since 2006. Here's the 1-0. High and away, 2 balls, no strikes. Also won a Christian College World Series there in the late 2000s. Now this is a Bluefield team that will likely make the Christian College Regionals again. Chance to go back to the Christian College World Series. Here's a 2-0. Outside and low, 3 balls, no strikes. Of course, you have to think that the ultimate goal is to go to the NAIA tournament. Rams might be a few years away from that, though. The pitching just has to get a bit more mature, and there has to be less turnover. 3 balls, no strikes, the pitch. And Cosby walks in 4 straight pitches as that one was a bit too high. So the Rams will hope for the double play now as there is a force at every bag except home. Here comes Udumban. Now a courtesy runner coming in for the catcher. That'll be Tucker Kane over at first base. Oh, the center fielder digs in right side. His team leading 2-1. Goes outside on the first pitch, ball 1. Now Thomas Huddleston's going to go to the mound after Ambrose has thrown 5 straight balls. Already 2 walks today from Ambrose, and looking at his statistics, that was something that you knew about this left-handed pitcher. Throws a good amount of walks, had more walks this year than strikeouts. He also has 2 strikeouts in this game. Udumban is hitting .324, by the way. No homers, 7 RBIs. He's appeared in 40 games for Bryan, but has just made 19 starts. High and away. Leads the team in stolen bases with 16. So make it 6 straight balls from Spencer Ambrose. Two balls, no strikes, 1 out. 2 men aboard. Here's a 2-0, and it's high. 7 straight balls, 3 balls, no strikes. This is where it gets tough for Bluefield. If you really want to win a game, you got to make sure your starter can go at least 4-5 innings. And it's tough for the Rams. 3-0. Outside corner in there for a strike. So the lefty finds his own there. But if your starter doesn't go deep, the team is already young enough on the pitching side as it is. So you throw out an inexperienced guy and then bring in another one. Here's a 3-1. It's low and the bases are loaded. Ball 4. 2 straight walks for Spencer Ambrose. So now back to the top of the lineup, and Gabe Howell, he's 0 for 1, popped up to right field. Bases loaded. The pitch, and it's low again. Boy, Ambrose cannot hit the zone right now. 1 ball, no strikes. Wants to get a new ball. This is where it gets tough for Bluefield. Bases loaded. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Crosses the knees, evens it up at 1-1. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2-1 the lead for Bryan. Now the pitch to the shortstop. Swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. Cardona gloves it low, and now it's quickly 1-2. Ambrose trying to feel it back, getting the applause of the Bluefield dugout, all up on that guard on the first base side. Big pitch coming up from Ambrose. Bases loaded. Scoggins at third, Kane at second. Over at first, Udambon. 1-2. Breaks high and outside, nearly got him there, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ambrose checks on the bases loaded runners, 2-2. Swung on, grounded into the 5-6 hole, a base knock. Scoggins will score. Kane around third. He loses his helmet, but he will get there. It's a 2-run single for Gabe Howell. And now it's 4-1 Bryan. And now Udambon's going to third base. Nobody was covering, and he dives in safely. Ozzie Millette walked the ball up to the mound. No one was covering third, and heads up running for Udambon, getting to the corner. McCauley's got to love that, the head coach and the third base coach. Just gifting them a better situation. So now a deep enough fly ball could make it 5-1. Here's Weinberger, got on base with a walk last time and ended up scoring on the home run from Lake Burris, who's on deck. Over half of his hits, or nearly half of them, have been home runs with a man on deck. Weinberger's a guy that's hit well as that one is dropped by Cardona. Udambon comes in to score, and it's 5-1. 4-run lead. Howell goes to second base on the pass ball. For Cardona, that is just simply something you cannot do. 1 ball, no strikes. Weinberger now with a man in scoring position at second base. 3 runs have already came across for Bryan in the second inning. Rams don't have an arm warming up out in the bullpen. They want Ambrose to finish this off. Here's the 1-0. Outside and low, 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch. Low and away, ball 3. This is turning into a bad inning for Ambrose. Trying to find the zone. Only a couple of walks. Big lead at second, 3-0. Outside and high, ball 4. And Weinberger is walked for the second straight time. Now I think we're going to see some movement going out to the bullpen for Bluefield. back to Lake Burris. Hit his 23rd home run of the year, his last time up in the first inning. Here we are in the top of the second. 5-1 the lead for Bryan. Now calls time. Fouled back. Got an 0-1. So Lake Burris right now, number 2 in the country in home runs. And the NAIA at 23. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped up. Surely a gift for Bluefield. Carlos Torres waved off by Espinal, and the shortstop backs up to make the catch. Now there are 2 outs. Interestingly enough, the 2 players leading the country are tied, and they are on the same team. Aaron Shackelford and Anthony Lepre from the Masters College out in California. Both have 26. Here's Marcus Catalano, the right fielder. 5-1 the score, 2 outs. Ambrose popping up that last power hitter as that one is hit on a bounce over to Millette. He'll tag the bag at third and end the top of the second inning. 3 runs come across for Bryan, and they lead by 4. It's 5-1. Not wasting any time, ready for the bottom of the second inning, and the first pitch to Marcus Espinal from Cuomo is high for ball 1. 3 runs scored for Bryan in the top of the second. Brings up the shortstop for Bluefield to try to cut into the lead, and he takes a cut and a miss there. Strike 1. Espinal, a veteran for Bluefield, back into the starting lineup more consistently now. It's his 18th start of the year, and he's hitting well. 386. 2 homers, 16 RBIs, and he swings and bounces that one into right field. A base knock for Bluefield, and Espinal is on to lead us off in the bottom of the second inning. We saw at the beginning of the year where Espinal was getting set, Marcus Espinal over at short. Now to Edgardo Bernard, who hit a home run against Bluefield State his last time up. That pitch goes on the outside corner, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to the first baseman. Cuomo looks at first with no outs and throws a pickoff attempt. Espinal gets back to the bag safely. So that home run for Bernard against Bluefield State was his third of the year. Makes it 31 RBIs. And he's hitting at 252, so kind of a hit or miss. Here's the 0-1. Got some misses, no balls, 2 strikes. Oh, 2. Skips in the dirt, picked up by Cosby. He'll check the runner and throw back to the pitcher. One ball, 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 pitch bounces in the dirt again, kicks out into the infield grass. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Hitting right here at the end of the year, Rams with that big slate, and it was big for them to win those 2 games against Point. They lost that first game 7-3. Alex Perkins pitched a complete game for Bluefield in game 2 that doubleheader. The Rams won in extras. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and fought off foul, bouncing down the third baseline to keep it at 2-2. And that final game beating Point. Rams had a big lead in that game and ended up only winning 8-7, but a win is a win. And then against Bluefield State, one of those midweek games for the Rams to throw out new pitching. There wasn't really much pitching in that game at all, 27-14. Ready for the 2-2. Bernard swings and misses, strike 3. There's out number 1. And we were joking in that Bluefield State game that the Rams tried to go for 2 there at the end and didn't get it. That's why it was only 27-14. But boy, Bluefield State, those guys over there, they were just trying to find consistent pitchers. And the Rams have struggled this year, but I got to say the Big Blues have done the same thing. Here comes Carlos Torres with 1 out and a runner at first base. Marcus Espinal dives back. So Tennessee Wesleyan coming to town. That will be big if the Rams find a win against them, one of the bigger upsets of the year. That pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. It's going to be on senior weekend for Bluefield. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Now the pitch. Torres backs up. 2 balls, no strikes after the breaking ball misses high. Haven't seen Torres in a while, missing those last couple of games. He's only hitting .282, does have 3 home runs, 22 RBIs. Rams as a team average, as an entire squad, .315 at the plate. But that one's popped up first base side, and it'll go out of play. As for Bryan, they're only hitting .294. It goes to show the Rams with an ERA of 6.11 on the season. And Bryan with only a 5.5 ERA. That breaking ball goes on the outside corner, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So it's always going to come down to the pitching. And it's very tough for Bluefield to put themselves in situations where they're going to need to score 8 runs to win. 2-2. Check swing on a high pitch. Did he go? And Torres held up. There's ball 3. Now the first full count of the game for a Bluefield batter. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Marcus Espinal led the inning off with a grounder over to second, and it got through. Payoff, swing and a miss. Breaking ball had Torres out in front, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cuomo. And that puts the Rams back to the top of their lineup with Jordan Huntley. Nailed a ball down the third baseline his last time up and legged it out for a double. 5 on the score, 2 outs. Top of the second, 3 runs for Bryan. Here we are in the bottom of the second. Rams trying to cut into this 5-1 deficit. First pitch to Huntley. Swings and misses. Starting to see Cuomo feel his stuff a little bit better than he did in that first inning. Swing and miss stuff for the righty for Bryan College. Working from the stretch, 0-1. Outside and low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Over 60 strikeouts into this game, and has had Bluefield fooled a couple of times. Jose Santana on deck struck out after a long at-bat. Espinal's at first, and here's the 1-1. Breaks low, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The offer popped up left side. Foul territory. Estudio gallops towards the bullpen, and that's where it'll land out of play. So Huntley now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Espinal led the inning off with a single over to right field. Count at 2-2. Boy, this would be a great time for Huntley to hit his 10th homer of the year. He's been pretty quiet on the long balls lately. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive shot to center field. Udambon backs up, makes the catch at his knee. Almost dropped it, but almost is the key word. 3rd out of the bottom of the 2nd. We have played 2, and the Rams trail 5-1. Estudio up to the plate. 3rd baseman leading it off for Bryan as his team leads 5-1, top of the 3rd inning. Spencer Ambrose still on the mound for Bluefield, and the first pitch to him as a breaking ball across the knees for strike 1. Well, if you are on Twitter and you saw this relatively viral video of Bryan College a few months ago before the season started, I think it was right at the end of 2018, you might remember the Lions. The kick in the 0-1. Fastball low, ball 1. They had this team-building exercise, toughness-building exercise, if you will, of basically playing King of the Hill, where 2 guys would just wrestle each other in the middle of a circle and try to put the other one down on his back. And then if that guy won, another guy would try to put him on his back. As the 1-1 is skied out to right center. Holzer converges with Huntley. He'll camp out under it and make the catch for out number 1. And a lot of the old school baseball guys loved it. But it also begs the question, is it this serious? And for Bryan College, those guys seem to love it, and no one got hurt, which is an absolute miracle. And Coach McCauley's team, you can't argue with the results here at 30-12. Here's Tyler Scott. He swings and misses strike one. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. That's what's kind of crazy about NAIA baseball, JUCO baseball. Sometimes it can get a little bit lawless in these practices or really in these team building exercises as that ball goes outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. You won't see D1 guys in the NCAA wrestling each other, at least not in a school-sponsored activity. Nobody on. Here's Tyler Scott, 1-1. Swinging a high fly out to center. Huntley over towards the scoreboard. He'll make the catch, 2 outs. Good start here for Spencer Ambrose, retiring the first 2 batters. That'll bring up David Scoggins, the 7th hitter in the lineup for Bryan. Popped up down the left field line and foul. Out of play. Scoggins doubled his last time up as that pitch is inside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Nobody on for Bryan with a 5-1 lead in the top of the 3rd. Ball and a strike. Kick and the 1-1. Breaking ball misses low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, the caption on that video, mental toughness is great, physical toughness is great too. Here's the 2-1. Small flinch at a pitch in the dirt. Didn't go around, ball 3. Here's a 3-1. In the dirt, rolls behind Cardona, ball 4. Another walk for Ambrose. Doesn't want to put too many men aboard. We'll bring up Parker Cosby, who got on base last time up. Walked in 4 pitches. So the catcher has to get his shin guards off. His team is up 5-1 here at Bowen Field. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Rams 22-18. Going for their 4th straight victory. Going to be tough to do so. Cuomo gave up that hit to Marcus Espinal and really retired Bluefield in order right after that rather easily. First pitch to Cosby, and it's high, ball 1. Rams do have an arm warming up in the bullpen because Ambrose has gotten himself into this hole where he finds a way to retire the early batters of the inning and then kind of tapers off as the inning goes on. He's not thrown a strike to Cosby yet. 1-0. There it is, strike 1. After the fastball hits from the lefty, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pitch. Lobbed outside and high, ball 2. Cosby only had 5'8" from Escalon, California, so maybe not the biggest strike zone to throw to, but well, Ambrose just has to deal with it here. 2 balls, 1 strike. Scoggins is at first. Here's the 2-1. Popped up right side, foul territory. Bernard finds it out towards the fence and makes the catch. Great play by the first baseman as that ball was going to land in the little parking lot there, but Bernard makes the snag for out number 3, and Bryan has their first scoreless frame of the ball game. On to the bottom of the 3rd, and Bluefield trails 5-1. Welcome back, everybody. On to the bottom of the third inning. Rams trail 5-1, and the first pitch from Cuomo to Santana is right down the middle, and it goes to 0-1. Great day for baseball here at Bowen. Here's the 0-1, fouled back. Well, for Cuomo, trying to keep this game going quickly, picks up the pace. Rams, unfortunately, haven't had that luxury because Spencer Ambrose has walked a few batters and has had to pitch from the stretch for most of the game. Here's the 0-2 to Santana. Fouled back again. 2-3-4-2 up for Bluefield. Millette on deck and Pepe Napoleon in the hole. The sacrifice fly to bring in the Rams' lone run. That was back in the first inning. And 3 more runs scored in the second for Bryan. 0-2. Popped up right side towards the foul line. Burris backs up, converges with Scott, and Scott will make the catch in the dirt for out number 1. So Santana going 0 for 2. And I'll bring up Ozzie Millette, who had a single his last time up. Millette hits it in the air, deep to center. Udabon camps out under it, makes the catch. There's out number 2. So Cuomo has gotten into a rhythm here after a tough bottom of the first inning. Brings up Napoleon, who flew out to right but drove in a run. With 2 outs, here's the pitch. Shows bunt, pulls back, and a tie. 1 ball, no strikes. It's funny to see Napoleon run kind of cartoonishly hopped up to the ball that time. Lays down the bat. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Swings and fouls it back. Hits the screen. He's at 1-1 with 2 outs, nobody on for the Rams after a couple of pop-ups, and really Millette drove that one to center field. Santana popped out to second. Before the 1-1. Shows bunt, fouls it off with a foot of Cosby, and he seems to be a bit shaken up after that. Might have stung there. Must have hit him in the hand. He's favoring that hand, and nobody will try to replace Cosby. Maybe it's that physical toughness they were talking about in the Royal Rumble video that they posted on Twitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Have to see if Napoleon goes back to the bunt. Leg out this bunt here. Here, playing back to third. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and a pitch in the dirt. Cosby signals, throws to first, and Burris tags the bag for out number 3. Rams retired in order. Now we go to the fourth. Bluefield trailing 5-1. Welcome back, everybody. 5-1 the score. Bryan leading Bluefield by 4. And the first pitch to the center fielder is down low. Udumban up in the count 1-0. He got walked his last time. Spencer Ambrose is still on the mound. 1 ball, no strikes. 9-1-2 due up. Here's the 1-0. Watches it on the corner, strike 1. So Ambrose pitched a couple of scoreless, or 1 scoreless frame back in the 3rd inning, his first of the ball game. Bryan left a runner on. Now the 1-1. Bounces in the dirt for ball 2. If Ambrose can finish off this inning, you'll possibly see another Bluefield pitcher out in the 5th. On a 3-game series and a pivotal one at that, I want to see your starting pitchers go as deep as possible because the Rams need to keep those arms ready in case Alex Perkins has a bad game. Possibly E-Step to be the Game 3 starter tomorrow. Ambrose puts the ball in the glove, 2-1. Here's the pitch. Fastball way outside, ball 3. Great day for baseball, 30-12, Bryan College Lions. 14-7 in the conference. 3-1 is low. Udumban's going to run to first base. Remember, last time he was out, he scored on a pass ball, and he got to third because Millette was not covering after a single. Millette walked the ball back to the pitcher. Udumban went from second to third, and nobody could throw him out because no one was there. Back up to Wade Howell. Runner at first, another walk from Ambrose. It's a fastball high and outside, ball 1. Howell got on his last time. He's 1 for 2 today. Brought in a couple of runs on a single. Part of that 3-run top of the 2nd inning. And you can really expect some pickoff moves here because Udumban has led this team in stolen bases this year and will likely take off. Another pickoff attempt, and he has to be careful. That was a bit low. Freshman from Carrollton, Georgia at 5'6", 160. Now back to another freshman at the plate, and Gabe Howell. 1-0, Udumban takes off. It's down the middle. Throw to second is high, and Udumban dives in for a stolen bag. Stolen base number 17 on the year. Now Millette has to really pay attention because with how well he ran that 90 feet, you better expect he might even have the confidence to steal third. Two balls, one strike, or excuse me. Howell is ready. Checking second, and the pitch and the dirt. Bond's going to stay at second base. So a 2-ball, 1-strike count, no outs. Pitch. Outside corner, evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. This is going to be a big out for Ambrose if he's able to sit down the leadoff man and Wade Howell here. Excuse me, Gabe Howell. Shortstop at the plate in a 2-2 count. Another pickoff attempt. That was a quick one from Ambrose trying to spin into that throw. Torres lays down an attack. And the center fielder gets back. Two-two. Just missed outside, ball 3. Cameo appearance from assistant coach Garrett Schilling. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Payoff, high and away, ball 4, another walk. No outs, 2 men aboard. Don't want to put yourself in this situation because then you're just going to set the table so easily for a guy like Weinberger and especially a guy like Lake Burris. Here comes Weinberger with Millette playing in the grass over at third, possibly for this bunt attempt. Left fielder at the plate. Been walked twice. First pitch, and it's another low one. Definitely do not want to load up the bases with no outs. Lake Burris up next. Hit a home run like it was so easy back in that first inning. Here's the 1-0. And that hit him in the helmet. Right in the ear hole. There is a hit by pitch, and the bases are loaded. Ambrose just has to be done close to this point. The Rams just don't have that many other arms to throw out there. Top of the 4th, bases loaded, 5-1 the score, no outs. Here comes Lake Burris. Popped up his last time up. Mike White really has no choice but to just keep Spencer Ambrose out there. It's a doubleheader. 3-game series, first game. Lefty to righty with 23 homers on the year. First pitch. Flares outside, ball 1. 2 walks in a row, a hit by pitch, bases loaded, no outs. Ready for the 1-0. Swinging a liner, snagged by Espinal at short, throw to second, not in time. So that is definitely a big gift there. Burris only got the end of the bat off of it and shot it straight over to Marcus Espinal. Rams will take that first out. Now Bluefield has new life. Chance to get a double play here to send it into the bottom of the 4th unscathed. Brings up the right fielder, though, Marcus Catalano. Lefty looks in. First pitch. Fastball in the dirt. Kept up by Cardona. Also will have to watch out for Destine Udumban. That ball even slowly rolls behind Cardona. This center fielder is going to sprint in home. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out. Ambrose kicks and fires. Swinging a pop-up foul behind home plate, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big time jam here. One. Swing and a foul tip. Off the body of Catalano, and he had a really lackadaisical swing there, second guessing on the breaking pitch. That's a good pitch from Ambrose. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Loaded up the bases with no outs, got the biggest out in Lake Burris after he lined straight over to Marcus Espinal. Ball and 2 strikes, bases juiced of Lions. A 5-1 lead in the top of the 4th inning. Ambrose fires again. Sails high and away, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Duck flying overhead. Ducks on the pond for Bryan. Now steps off. You can imagine that Ambrose can really be deliberate here in one of the biggest moments of the game. His team only down by 4 and a chance to break it open. 2-2. In the dirt, kicks up a cloud, ball 3. So now a huge pitch from Ambrose. A full count, 1 out, bases loaded for Bryan. Already leading by 4, it's 5-1. Catalano is ready. Udumban just about ready to sprint home. Here's a 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Spun him around on that breaking ball, and a big-time strikeout from Ambrose. So now 2 outs, bases loaded. Jesus Estudio. The third baseman can break it open with a base knock. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Back to the dish. Trying to keep the Rams in this game. Ambrose says certainly kept Bryan in the lead with the walks. Now can try to erase that. Pitch down the middle, strike 1, a good fastball. Really for Bryan, if you're rooting for them in this game, a shame that he laid off of that. That was perfect right down the middle. Lefty trying to persevere on the bump for Bluefield. Studio is ready with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and a 4-run lead. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, sails high and away. After that, loops out of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. One. Fastball, and now a throw to third, trying to get him in a rundown, and Udumban takes the bait, and it's tagged out at home. 1, 2, 5, and then right back to the catcher. Rams will take it, and Bryan leaves themselves with a bases loaded and can't score despite having the situation with no outs. We will head to the bottom of the 4th. Rams are down by 4. Cuomo is on the bump. His team left the bases loaded in the top of the 4th inning. Now he's back and Really doesn't take a lot of time to warm up as he gets Cardona to swing and foul that one off. And the count goes 0-1 after that one lands on top of the press box. No balls, 1 strike. Andres Holzer on deck for Bluefield. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Rams. Pitch. Cardona lifts it down the left field line, and that one will drop foul and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Rams searching for their 4th straight win. Just finding the clutch hits and the good pitching at the right times, especially in those last 2 games against Point, and really didn't have to go against much pitching in that last win. The 0-2 bounces in the dirt ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Scoring 27 runs against Bluefield State. These games today were actually scheduled on the slot where the Rams were supposed to play Piedmont International. So 1-2 goes low and away again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's a team that Bluefield could score 30 runs if they really tried against. Those are wins to try to get Bluefield assuredly in the NCCAA regional. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and hit on the ground on a bounce over to Burris. Tags the bag at first, 1 away. Back to Holzer. Bottom of the 4th inning. Rams are down by 4 runs, 5-1. Cuomo starting to retire. Bluefield in order, really with regularity. Last hit he gave up was to Marcus Espinal, who's on deck. Big cut and a miss by the righty right fielder. Strike 1. Six games left of the regular season for Bluefield. The 0-1. Swing and a miss again, strike 2. That's, of course, if the Rams don't pencil in another game where they're going to try to play it. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Now the pitch goes low and away, ball 1. Ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Cuomo wastes no time, deals inside, ball 2. Shot over to first. Burris reels it in, 2 outs. Brings up Marcus Espinal, last single for Bluefield. Rams have 4 hits. Lions only have 3, but they lead by 4. The pitch, right down the middle, strike 1. Ambrose really hasn't given them that much to hit. So many walks today for the lefty, and the Rams do have another arm warming up in the bullpen. Here's the 0-1. Side and low, counted 1-1. 1-1 to Espinal. Pops it up right behind home plate. Cosby looks at it, and Bluefield is down to their final strike in the bottom of the 4th inning. Thanks to everybody tuning in, Bluefield fans, Bryan fans alike. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Got this one started at 10:59. 1-2. Smashes in the dirt, ball 2. Oh, Cuomo, when he has nobody to look at on base, gotta love this pace that he's putting. 2-2. Down low. I mean, some guys like to take possibly 45 seconds in between pitches. Cuomo is definitely shy of that. 3-2 popped up behind home plate. Out of play. We got the ball. We're going to time it here. Of course, could be different off of the foul. So even with the foul, Cuomo right behind the bump and makes his way back to the rubber. Full count. Pitch. Outside and low, ball 4. By the way, almost 15 seconds in between the foul ball and the pitch. That is great. Especially when you have so many innings to play today, the pace of play can be sped up. Now working from the stretch up against Edgardo Bernard for Bluefield. He struck out his last time up. Espinal has reached both times today, 1 for 1, and now has that walk. The offer. Bernard looks at it high and away, ball 1. 2 outs, 1 man on for Bluefield, down by 4, 5-1. Cuomo running into a bit of a hiccup there after retiring so many Rams in order, once again allowing Espinal to get on. Here's the 1-0. Bernard pops it up, left side. Weinberger looks at it, and it goes out of play into the parking lot. Ball and a strike with 2 outs. Bend to the knee. Here's a 1-1. Down low again, ball 2. So Cuomo working with a runner on base, starting to lose that command he had working so well from the second inning on. Bottom of the 4th. 2 outs, runner at first. Pitch. Cut on and missed, strike 2. Rams searching for a signature base hit in this ball game. Jumped on Cuomo in that first inning. Since then, relatively crickets. 2-2. Popped up left side, and that'll go over the press box. And once again, keep the ball out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Espinal is at first with a walk. Carlos Torres on deck if we get that far. Lefty is battling right now with Cuomo. 2-2. Bounced in the dirt. Cosby let it go off that red chest guard, and now it's another full count. Rams being patient at the plate. Sophomore from Canton, Georgia. Standing in at a lanky 6'3". Looks in, a full count with 2 outs. Payoff. Shot foul over the press box again. So we'll do it again at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count and 2 outs. Another payoff. Outside corner, Bernard goes down looking. Lets the wind out of Bluefield's sails there, but now that is out number 3. 5-1 the score. We'll head to the 5th inning. Studio was left at the plate with the bases loaded back in that top of the fourth inning. Bryan loaded up the bases with no outs after Ambrose walked the first two batters and hit the third in the helmet. And then he fought back, a couple of strikeouts, and got Udumban in that rundown. So it'll start off now with the third baseman. First pitch to him. He swings and fouls it back, counted 0-1. Ambrose working into his fifth inning. Go up against the Studio, Tyler Scott, and David Scoggins. No balls, one strike, no outs. First of a three-game set. First of a doubleheader today. It's a 9-inning game and a 7-inning game to follow. 0-1. Bounced in the dirt, ball one. Well, this umpire, it's funny, after that one bounced, he got nailed earlier in the game on a bounce. And every time that ball bounces, he seems like he's hopping out of the way. So keep an eye on that. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air, right field, on a line. Holzer back, and that one bounces off the base of the wall. Holzer picks it up off the warning check, throws it to his cutoff man, actually goes over him, and it's a big-time double for a Studio. That ball sailed off of the bat there. That is a big-time double going opposite field, nearly cleared the fence for a home run. Looks like a courtesy runner's going to come out, or a pinch runner. It'll be Josh Hinkin. So a leadoff double, 5-1 the score. Top of the fifth inning. Hinkin on at second base, and that's just something you can do in the college game. Some guys in and out. Brings up Tyler Scott. McCauley looking on at third base. 8th season at Bryan, but first season as the head coach. Ground ball, third base side, and foul. Was the associate head coach for the past 5 years. Big strength. He was the pitching coach. No balls, 1 strike, no outs. Scott swings and misses, counted 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Lefty looks at second. Now he'll deal. Outside and low, ball 1. So by the way, that double for Studio was only the 4th hit for Bryan. They have scored 5 runs. Haven't scored since the 2nd inning, but predominantly off of walks. 1 off of a wild pitch. That is how runners have gotten on the base paths. Pitch. Breaks outside just by a hair. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Scott with a base hit can make it 6-1. The lefty fires. Swung on and hit into shallow center. Long run for Huntley. He will bobble it after the ball bounces in front of him. Single for Tyler Scott. It was tough to see if that ball actually bounced or not, but it surely did. So it brings up Scoggins. No outs. Runners on the corners. So Ambrose trying to see if he can get out of another jam in back-to-back innings. At some point, you just have to rely on just putting it in the strike zone and relying on your fielders to make plays. Rams not playing with the infield in. First pitch. Fastball down low. Cardona backhands it, throws it right back to the pitcher. One ball, no strikes. Josh Hinken at third. Tyler Scott at first. 1-0. Swung on and hit well and deep to center. Huntley glides to the left, makes the catch. Hinken will tag up, and he will score. 6-1, Bryan leads. Scoggins with the RBI off the sacrifice. Rams hoping for a double play, finally have that first out. Here comes Cosby, who's been tough to pitch to for Ambrose today. Back to the mound goes Spencer Ambrose. I have to think this can be one of his last innings. He pitched 2 scoreless frames in a row, though. Scoreless third and fourth. Try to pick off Scott, and it's a bit high. Rams in a big conference series with Bryan. So far down by 5 runs. Cuomo has been pitching well. Outside corner, strike one. It's going to be tough to win a game when you have so many walks. But other than that, really keeping Bryan at a bit of a low point. They haven't been hitting the ball well. Here's the 0-1. It'll have to wait. It's a pickoff attempt dropped by Bernard, and Scott will stay at first. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Sun-kissed morning turning into an afternoon. Here's the 0-1. Scott's going to take off, and now a pickoff attempt will not work out. Espinal did not cover the bag in time at shortstop. So what could have been a 1-3-6 just ends up being a stolen bag. And that takes out the double play opportunity. Still at 0-1 to Cosby. Guys like Tyler, Scott, Destine, Udambon, they have been tough to throw against on the base paths today. Ambrose back to the rubber. Has to look at second now. Rams haven't been there to cover in 2 situations today. Ozzie Millette did not cover third, and the center fielder for Bryan really sprinted his way there. And then Marcus Espinal was playing too far away from the bag at second. Here's the 0-1. High and away. Evens up the count, 1-1. 1 out. Runner in scoring position. Bryan searching for their 31st win of the season. Coming off of a couple of wins against Cumberland and Milligan. That one has popped up foul out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They beat Cumberland University on the road in Kentucky 16-10. And they beat Milligan in 2 out of 3 games. Coming off of another conference sweep before that against Union. They actually took 2 games away from Tennessee Wesleyan as well. That breaks in the dirt, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ambrose fires to the catcher. Swung on and belted on the ground past the dive of Carlos Torres. Held up at third as Scott throw into the infield, scooped out by Edgardo Bernard, and now there are runners on the corners. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Here's Udambon. Hasn't been forced to get a hit today, walked twice. Bryan, the number 23 team in the country. 3 teams in the AAC ranked, and Point, interestingly enough, received votes to be ranked, and the Rams beat them in 2 out of 3 games. Drew McConnell, though, handed Bluefield the sweep. Udambon tries to lay down a bunt, pulls back. It's outside, ball 1. Top of the 5th. 1 out. Runners on the corners. 5-1 turned to 6-1 in this inning. Bryan with a 14-7 AAC record. Right now the Rams at 10-11. That hits the outside corner to paint it at 1-1. It's tough for Bluefield to lose 2 of 3 games against Milligan, a team that's only 7-14 in the AAC. Here's the 1-1. Down the middle, strike 2. Ambrose is back in it. So Bryan is 3rd in the conference. Rams right now at 6th. 6.5 games out of first place. They would likely need to come back and really sweep Tennessee Wesleyan next week, as well as the sweep with Bryan. Runner goes first to second. That breaking ball goes outside, and there goes an opportunity to try to get a double play to get out of this top of the 5th. Courtesy runner moves to second. So Tucker Kane's in scoring position. Tyler Scott's at 3rd. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Ambrose deals. High and outside, ball 3. Can't walk a guy 3 times. I'm sure that's what's going through the mind here of Spencer Ambrose. Rams were able to sit him down his last time, though, in that kind of quirky rundown play on the snap throw back to 3rd, but you don't want him on base again. Checks the runners. Payoff. It's low. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. Interesting that we have not seen another mound visit from Thomas Huddleston. Right back to the top of the lineup. 3 walks to 1 batter. We'll bring up Gabe Howell, the freshman shortstop. Bryan already leading by 5 here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch to him. Breaks low and in. Ball 1. Ambrose needs to find his way into the zone. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded for Bryan in the red jerseys here in the top of the 5th inning. The 1-0. Outside and low. 2 balls, no strikes, and boy, Ambrose needs another walk like he needs the plague. Kicks 2-0. There's a strike. Fastball on the knees. Ambrose has found his way back in. Bases loaded. Rams haven't scored since the 1st inning. Another bases loaded opportunity for Bryan. They've scored a run in this inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's the 2-1. And the dirt rolls away from Cardona. Here comes Tyler Scott. He trots in to make it 7-1. Another wild pitch. Everybody moves. So now there's no double play opportunity. Ambrose trying to find his way back into the zone. Pitch. Howell pops it up. Foul territory, out of play. So Gabe Howell in a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Went away and swung at a 3-1 pitch. Now it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Two runners in scoring position. Rams down by 6 runs. Payoff in the dirt, ball 4. Bases loaded once again. We have yet to see Ambrose get replaced, and the Rams are really trying to conserve those arms. Now they can only hope for another double play. 2 runs have scored already in the top of the 5th inning. Another walk. Here's Weinberger, who's been walked twice. Actually was hit by a pitch his last time up, and that's a ball in the dirt. Nearly 10 walks for Spencer Ambrose. Bases loaded, 1 out, 1-0. Swung on and blasted into right center. That's a base knock, and runs are going to score. Here comes Kane. Good relay back in, throw to second, and now there's going to be a rundown over here at third. Unumban trying to bounce around and go back. Millette's going to throw to second. Howell caught up now. Here's Torres, and Torres is going to try to get Unumban out at home plate. He chased him all the way down and laid down the tag. How did that happen? Wow. There's out number 2. Carlos Torres chased him down all the way from second to home. It's 8-1 after the first run scores. Good relay back in by Huntley, though. Showing the speed there. Great job by Torres. Now, after all of that, here comes Lake Burris, who hit that home run in the first inning. Since then, popped up a couple of times. 2 runners scoring position, finally finding that second out. Rams are down by 7. Pitch and the dirt, ball 1 to the AAC's home run leader. So Ambrose and out away from getting the 5 innings really required of him. Top of the 5th. Bluefield down by 7. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Evens it up 1-1 with 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Weinberger at second and Howell at third. One. Swing and a miss. There's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's the pitch. Burris looks at it low, ball 2. Here's the pitch. Popped up, foul, out of play. 7-run lead for Bryan. Ambrose has struggled with the walks all day. Now this would certainly be a personal win for him if he can sit down Burris. 9 walks today for Ambrose. 2-2. Popped up foul. Bernard will chase it, but to no avail. It goes out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 9 walks combined with the 7 hits and then 1 hit batsman. So you got to think that Ambrose has given free bases to 10 Bryan College Lions. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. That finally ends the top of the 5th inning. Bryan scores 3, and they lead 8-1. Rams are down by 7. Joseph Cuomo, a former AAC Pitcher of the Week this year, is on the mound against Carlos Torres. First pitch to Torres is a fastball high, but called a strike at 0-1. So Bluefield sending the 9-1-2 up in the bottom of the 5th inning to try to cut into this 7-run lead. Here's the 0-1. Down low, ball 1. Cuomo has worked exceptionally quickly today. While for Spencer Ambrose, he has given free bases to 10 Bryan College batters on top of the 7 hits he's allowed. 1-1. Grounded down the third baseline and foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 9 walks today for Ambrose and 1 hit batsman. Torres is ready. Had that great play running down Hodenbahn at home from second. That's a misses though. Strikeout and out number 1. Playing game 1 of this doubleheader. We're going to be back for game 2 approximately half an hour after the end of game 1. Well, Bluefield College baseball certainly paying the rent, if you will, by being the main maintenance workers of the field itself. Here's the pitch. Huntley looks at it, and it's called a strike. He has scored the Rams' only run. That was back in the first on a sacrifice from Pepe Napoleon after he doubled. 0-1. With a fastball across the knees, strike 2. Now no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Huntley steps off, and over Cuomo getting into that rhythm after giving up a few hits in that first inning. 0-2. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rams with 4 hits. Huntley, 1 of them. Millette with 1. 1-2 is low. Ball 2. Cardona with a 2-out knock, and Marcus Espinal led off an inning with a single. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back. Approaching hour number 2 of this ball game. Well, Cuomo doing his best to keep this team quickly on and off the field. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Cuomo. There's out number 2. Bryan at 30-12, and you're starting to see why. Here's Jose Santana. And I think that's one of the biggest facts of the day is the fact that Cuomo has been able to retire Santana with ease. He's 0 for 2 as he fouls that one back. Count goes 0-1. To Santana. Breaks on the outside corner. Quickly 0-2. Nobody on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the 0-2. And Santana strikes out in 3 pitches. Cuomo strikes out the sign in the bottom of the 5th. And now we head to the 6th. 8-1. Bryan leads. Noah Carson is on the mound for Bluefield after Spencer Ambrose's day is done, giving up 8 runs, 7 hits, had 9 walks, and 1 hit batsman. Righty is in for Bluefield. And Catalano, the switch hitter, fouls it off. No balls, 1 strike. Carson coming out of the bullpen for the Rams. 7.11 ERA, just has 6 1/3 to his name as that one is fouled back. Quickly makes it 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. 4-5-6 due up for the number 23 team in the country. Cuomo is pitching a gem for Bryan. Rams just put themselves in a situation there. Ambrose could not throw strikes consistently. 0-2. Swung on and batted on the ground over at first. Bernard will race to the bag and win that race for out number 1. Bring up Jesus' studio. Doubled his last time up. And he hit that ball off the base of the wall, so this will be a re-entry after they brought in a pinch runner for him. Top of the 6th inning, folks. Bailey Engel on the call. Glad to have you with us. Game 1 of this doubleheader. The series finale tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Cut and a miss at the first pitch, strike 1. Well, Carson has only pitched 6 1/3 this year. First-year player for the Rams. Another one of those young hurlers for the Rams. Middle reliever for Bluefield. Now he nods and pitches. Making a ground ball left side, deep in the hole and out towards left field. There is a base hit for his studio, his 2nd of the ball game. Well, at least the Rams have that first out of the way, and here comes Tyler Scott. By the way, that final line on Ambrose, 5 innings, 8 earned runs, 9 walks, 4 strikeouts. Cuomo so far, as a new pinch runner comes in, has thrown 5 innings, has only surrendered 4 hits, 1 earned run with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. So the new pinch runner is Anthony Tejeda. Tyler Scott at the plate. 1 for 3 with a run scored. Here's the pitch, swung on and grounded through the 5-6 hole again into left field. Around second goes Tejeda, long throw to second will be cut off. And now there are 2 men aboard, 2 of the exact same hit in a row, and that'll bring up David Scoggins. Eight 8-1 the score. Carson needs 2 outs to send us to the bottom of the 6th inning. First deal, Scoggins looks at it high and away. 1 for 1 with an RBI. He was walked. Also had a sacrifice and scored a run. Here's the 1-0. Outside and low. 2 balls, no strikes with 1 out. Rams hoping for the double play. Scott at first and Tejeda at second. 2-0, and it's in the strike zone. Scoggins looks up. Didn't know about that one. That seemed rather low and away. Just nods. 2 balls, 1 strike. A frame job by Cardona. Rams down by 7 runs. Now 9 hits as a whole for Bryan. Here's a 2-1. Outside, ball 3. So Carson ball away from loading up the bases. Bryan has pretty much operated half of the game with the bases loaded. Jack's on second, 3-1. Cut and a miss. Strike two, a full count. And with some high action there. Rams have another arm in the bullpen. You have to imagine that Carson, if he can get 2 innings out of him, that's a rather win for Bluefield. Now time called. Bailey Angle on the call for you here at Bowen Field, Appalachian Mountains, and the 2 Virginias. A full count with the runner at second and first, and that one's fouled back. Keeps it at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff. Outside and low, ball 4. Another bases loaded situation. And Parker Cosby will try to cash in on it. You got to remember there is a mercy ruling in the AAC of 10 runs by 7 as Cosby grounds that one over to short. Espinal tosses to second, now on to first, and it's a 6-4-3 double play. Big time one for the Rams that gets them out of the jam. Bases loaded, 1 out. Bryan fails to score, and Bluefield goes into the bottom of the 6th, trailing by 7. Here's Joseph Cuomo still on the bump into the bottom of the 6th up against the 3-4-5 for Bluefield. And he deals a first pitch inside to Ozzie Millette, followed by Napoleon and Joseph Cardona for the Rams, down 8-1. Here's the 1-0. There's a strike, another fastball. Inside and low, so now at 91 pitches. Rams have not scored since the first inning when they made it 2-1. So 6 unanswered for Bryan. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back, evens it up at 2-2. And you have to give it to Bluefield, even though there is a 7-run deficit. Ambrose with so many walks today. Carson also threw 1 walk in that last 6th inning. But they have held Bryan with the bases loaded a couple of times. As the 2-2 is smacked out to right center field. That one will drop in for a base hit. Millette around first, and a good relay from Catalano will keep Millette on with a single. By the way, Tejeda is now at third in the replacement of Estudio, as he was the second pinch runner today for Estudio, and you can only be subbed out on a pinch run once to keep into the game. So Tejeda will stay at third. Runner at first with no outs, and Napoleon trying to cut into this 7-run deficit. Romo with the pitch. Crosses the knees for a strike on an off speed. Bottom of the 6th inning. Rams' 3-game winning streak now in jeopardy. Game 1 of the doubleheader, 0-1. Inside and low, 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, no outs. The pitch, got on and missed, strike 2. Beautiful day at the park. Bryan College fans showing up with a couple of families. I believe there are going to be some more families for Bluefield this weekend as Napoleon taps that one foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Likely we'll see a lot of Tennessee Wesleyan fans make the trip from Athens, Tennessee. They're the number 2 team in the country. About a 4 or 5 hour drive. Runner at first for Bluefield and Ozzie Millette, the 1-2. And on the ground, foul again, third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count stays. Cuomo is in the position for another win on the year. Here's the 1-2. Caught on and missed. Strike 3. And Napoleon is down, and a double play could end the 6th inning. That'll bring up Joseph Cardona. He had a single earlier with 2 outs. Rams with 5 hits today. Millette, 2 hits for Bluefield. That was a good one into right center field. Swung on and grounded softly on the right side. Diving play. Scott spins and throws to first in time. Well, Ozzie Millette tried to stay in front of that ball, and it nearly hit him. That's a good play by Tyler Scott, diving and saving that one from being a single. So now 2 gone. Here comes Andreas Holzer. Holzer for Bluefield is 0 for 2. First pitch to the right fielder. Sails high, ball 1. Bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 1-0. Outside and low, 2 balls, no strikes. Long or tall hill to climb for Bluefield against Joseph Cuomo. Already with 8 strikeouts. Actually makes it 9 with Napoleon. Second time he has struck him out today. 2-0. Ground ball left side, straight at Howell. Pops up, throw to first, skips, and it's dropped. Burris won't get it off of the scoop, and now runners are on the corners for Bluefield. E6 on the throw from Gabe Howell. Kind of rushed that play along. And a chance for Marcus Espinal. He's 1 for 1 today with a walk. 8-1 the score. Millette is at third. Bottom of the 6th inning. High and outside, ball one. One ball, no strikes. Pitch to the shortstop. Inside and high, 2 balls, no strikes. That one's hit out to center field. Udambon glides back and makes the catch. There's out number 3. Rams leave a couple of runners on, and we have played 6 innings at Bowen Field. On to the 7th. It's 8-1 Bryan. Udambon leads it off in the top of the 7th inning. Bryan down at no point in this game. They have led since the beginning. 8-1 the score. Carson's first pitch to Udambon is ball 1 inside. Center fielder for Bryan has been walked 3 times. Has gotten himself in some crazy rundowns 2 of the times. Scored once. Here's the 1-0. Hit in the air, left field. That's going to drop for a base knock. First hit for the center fielder for Bryan. Comes here in the 7th inning. He's reached in every plate appearance. You're just now joining us. Spencer Ambrose pitching the first 5 innings for Bluefield and walking 9 batters. Back to the top of the lineup and Gabe Howell. And it's just really tough for Bluefield to have a guy that goes 5 innings and walks 9 guys because you don't really have anybody else to come in and replace him that early. First pitch is high, ball 1. One and 2 on the day, 1 for 2. Couple of RBIs and 2 walks. Howell up in the count, 1-0. Rams turned a double play last time. Here's a pickoff attempt, and it's high. Now 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Bryan has loaded up the bases in the last couple of innings and have really failed to score. Here's the 1-0. Down the middle. Evens it up at 1-1. It'll be interesting to see Bluefield if they can keep some of their pitchers around and have the consistent hitters. Rams have always been able to hit. But if the pitchers can stick around, Bluefield's going to be tough to play in the next few years. Pickoff attempt. Not in time. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Fouled back, 1-2. On 1-2, Carson deals. Breaking ball, cut on and miss. Strike 3. There's out number 1. Brings up Weinberger. Another guy who's 1 for 1, walked twice, hit in the ear hole once. They scored 1 run today. So the score could be worse than 8-1. Rams have been playing well on the field and then been gifted on a couple of baffling mistakes by Bryan in these rundowns. 1 ball, no strikes as that one misses outside. And on the ground, it's high over the glove of Bernard into right field. A base hit. Unabon sprinting on to third. He'll get there. Did not play that one off of the hop well. Weinberger has a hit. His second of the game. Here's Burris, right down the plate, strike 1. Burris with a home run. He's 1 for 4. 2-run bomb. It was his 23rd of the season. Runners on the corners for Bryan in the top of the 7th inning. The pitch, outside and low. 2 balls and no strikes. Game 1 of the series, game 1 of the doubleheader. Bryan coming from Dayton. This one got pushed back to Monday. 1-1. Cut on and missed. Strike 2. Looking silly there on the pitch from the righty. Another time where Bryan has been well out in front of a breaking ball. Runners on the corners for the Lions, already up 8-1. Home run could make this a mercy ruling. Here's the 1-2. Outside, bounces away from Cardona. Udambon will score. That's the second time he's been able to score on either a pass ball or a wild pitch. It is now 9-1. Meanwhile, Weinberger into scoring position at second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. So Bryan searching for another conference win, make them 15-7 in the AAC. Now time called by Burris. Two and 2. Carson looks at second, takes another look, 2-2. Popped up foul, first base side, and we'll do it again at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Long inning in the works. Just the juxtaposition of the Rams pitching and what we've seen out of Joseph Cuomo today. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Carson deals. Burris swings and drives it down the left field line, but he scorched it foul. Count at 2-2. Outside corner got him. Burris goes down looking. Big strikeout for Carson to keep it at 9-1. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Out of Catalano, 9-1. Here's the pitch. Breaks outside and low. He's at 1-1. Bryan breaking the game open. Great pitching. Been able to capitalize on the walks. Already 2 outs, though, in the top of the 7th inning. Weinberger at second. Carson looks around and fires. Popped up, left side, foul territory. Millette camps out and makes the catch right close to the bullpen. So there's out number 3, stretch time in Bluefield, an 8-run lead for Bryan, and the Rams trail 9-1 coming to bat. Cuomo deals outside and low. It's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. And pitch by Cuomo, grounded by Bernard over to second. Scott tosses to first in time, and there's 1 out. 9-1 the score in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rams are down by 8. Cuomo has just surrendered 5 runs and hasn't given up, or 5 hits, hasn't given up a run since the first inning. That was when the Rams tacked on 3 hits in the first, and since then it's been hard to come by. Millette and Cardone, as well as Espinal, finding hits. They actually had 2 hits in that first inning as Torres fouls it back for strike 1. Bailey Engel on the call here, bottom of the 7th. Here's the 0-1. Torres looks at it high, called strike 2. Hasn't been going the Rams' way against a very tough Bryan team. Cuomo might go the full game. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 10 strikeouts today for Cuomo. And already 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Back to the top of the lineup with Jordan Huntley. One for three with a run scored. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, called strike one. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. Huntley 1 for 3. The only run scored today for Bluefield. Cuomo's already got him swinging once. Here's the 0-2. Fastball, just high, ball one. Cuomo was ready to walk into the dugout, and so was Lake Burris over at first. Masterful game by Joseph Cuomo. He deals. Fouled back. Sophomore from Canton, Georgia. Really dealt through this entire lineup. Rocks back, looks out of the glove, steps into a 1-2. Misses away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, got on and missed. Rams go in order in the bottom of the 7th. On to the 8th, it's still 9-1 Bryan. Top of the 8th. Tejeda to lead it off. First time he's batted today. Studio was the third baseman. First pitch to him is a fastball low and away from Carson, ball one. Top of the 8th, 9-1 the score in game one of this doubleheader. Bailey Engel on the call. Bryan looking for their 31st win, and they're a few innings away from doing so. Got on and miss, strike one. Tejeda just hitting 172 on the year. Here's the 1-1. Bounces off the plate, ball two. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gonna have game 2 for you about 30 minutes after the start, or the end of this game. Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a 3-1. Inside corner, strike two. Seems like the umpires might want to keep this game going along with the Rams down by 8. Bryan has been given a considerable amount of walks today, 10 to be exact. The pitch. And make it 11, ball 4. Second walk dealt by Carson. Now here comes Tyler Scott. All top to bottom, Bryan has been a consistent lineup in this ball game. Scott with a couple of hits himself. He's 2 for 4 with a run scored. Struck out once. One of the few Lions that has not been issued a walk. Howell, Weinberger, both issued 2. That one's inside, ball 1. Scoggins has been walked twice. And Destine Unabon has been walked 3 times. 1 ball, no strikes. Carson fires. There's a fastball on a strike. Right down the middle, 1 ball and 1 strike now, no outs. Here's the 1-1. That one's hit on the left field side and bouncing for a base hit. Another knock for Tyler Scott. Second baseman has been on it today. (9-1) to score. No outs. Potentially that mercy rule in effect if Scott can score from first base. Scoggins to the plate. 1 for 1 with an RBI at his sacrifice as well, and he's been walked twice. 1 ball, no strikes. Carson's thrown 2 walks, 11 walks in total. Add to that 12 hits for Bryan, and they're only up by 8. Here's the 1-0. DH looks at it low and inside. Good amount of runners left on base for Bryan today. They could be winning this one by 15. Two runners aboard now, though, with no outs. Pitch from Carson. Into the air, left side, and foul. Makes it 2-1. Another ball game for you after this. We'll have to see who goes for Bluefield. Possibly Alex Perkins, who has been the Game 2 starter for the Rams. And in those doubleheaders, likely to pitch the entire ball game if he can. Two one. Good pitch on a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tejeda's at second. Tyler Scott at first. Carson, the young pitcher, dealing with Scoggins. Here's the 2-2. Got on and missed. Strike 3. So he gets him for out number 1, and the Rams could get a double play here to end this top of the 8th. Only seen 1 double play today. There's Parker Cosby. Austin East, strike 1. Cosby's 1 for 3. He was walked once. Into the air, down the left field line. Napoleon ranges, and it goes off of his glove. Tejeda will score. Cosby will go on to second with an RBI double, and now it is 10-1. That would be called a hit. Napoleon ranged, and just that was not routine. Wasn't in the best place to make that catch. 10-1 the score. Batted ball can make this a mercy rule in effect. We're going to see another runner come in for the catcher. Checking in, it'll be Austin Hill over to second base. Nice ball, ball one. The pitch. Inside. Two balls, strikes, one out. Two runners scoring position with one out. That one is hit on a bounce into the gap in left field. A base hit. Now it's 11-1. Two hits for the center fielder today. And Bryan with 3 outs at the bottom of the eighth in this ball game. Rams need to find an out here. The rule is 10 by 7, a little bit different than what we see in softball where it's 8 by 5. Because of course their games only go 7 innings. So barring a miracle here, Bryan will likely improve to 31-12 as the shortstop looks at it outside and low ball one. One ball, no strikes. That one is hit on a bounce. Over to Espinal. Throw to second. Skips in. Got him. Good play by Espinal on the 6-4. Now there are 2 gone. Meanwhile, Howell goes over to first. Another run comes in to score. It is 12-1. I'll bring up Weinberger with an 11-run lead. Oh, Cauley is talking with Cuomo right now. I wonder if the pitcher will go out for another inning as that one is cracked into left field. Napoleon with a beat on it, Wynn pushing it out, and he makes the catch at the warning track to finally end the top of the 8th inning. Rams need to score a couple of runs to keep this game going. It's an 11-run lead for Bryan on to the bottom of the 8th. Jose Santana up against this new pitcher, Reese Roach. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Rams are down by 11. First pitch to Santana is low, ball 1. Santana really struggled against Cuomo, as did everybody for Bluefield, really in the exception of Ozzie Millette. So Joseph Cuomo's 7 innings, only 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk. Here's the 1-0, and it hits him in the back. 11 strikeouts for Cuomo today across 116 pitches. Only had 1 walk, which is the story of the day. Rams have issued 11 walks, while Cuomo struck out 11 batters. Ozzie Millette's got the only multi-hit performance for Bluefield. He's 2 for 3. Alvarez at first, and Santana. Rams are down by 11. The pitch got on and missed, strike 1. So Roach with a 9 ERA coming into this game. Bryan with a very deep pitching staff. He's 1-0 on the year. This is his 11th appearance, and he started 1 game. That one's high, evens it up at 1-1. 14 innings for the junior. 23 hits, 14 runs, all of them earned with 9 walks and 10 strikeouts. Here's the 1-1. Into the air, out to right center field. A long run back, and the catch is made. So Udumban able to make the grab after he has made his way out to right field now. Oh, Kane is in center. Well, there's 1 gone. Lennon Napoleon up. Napoleon struck out a couple of times to Cuomo as the game's lone RBI for Bluefield. Hit over to short, snag there, and there is out number 2, trying to turn a double play. Scorched frozen rope over to short. Howell's able to reel it in, and Bryan is 1 out away from winning this game. So Joseph Cardona up to the plate. Rams are down by 11 runs. Santana pegged by a pitch. First one. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 14 hits for Bryan on top of being gifted bases. 11 walks, 1 hit batsman. Rams with only 5 hits. Here's the 1-0. Into the air, out to center. Long charge in for Kane. Stops in his tracks and makes the catch. That should be the ball game. And Bryan has won it. So Bryan picks up game 1, 12-11 on a mercy ruling in 8 innings. We're going to be right back in half an hour after Bryan improves to 31-12. Rams 3-game losing streak now over 22-19. Half an hour away from game 2 of this doubleheader coming up right after this.